All right, today we're going to do 2-3, solving multi-step equations. Okay, on excuse me, on multi-step equations, you first have to simplify like terms on the same side of the equal sign. Okay, second, you add or subtract. Third, you multiply or divide. Okay, depending on what the problem is asking for. Excuse me, sorry. So let's do some examples. Number 1, 2c plus c plus 12 equals 78. Okay, so first we have to combine our like terms. We have 2c and 1c. So we have 3c plus 12 equals 78. Now it goes back to just being a two-step equation. Okay, so we have plus 12. We always do our adding and subtracting first. We should end up with 66 here, and then 3c. Okay, and then we're going to, since it's 3 times c, we divide by 3. C equals 22. Okay, so that's the first one. Number 2, 4b plus 16 plus 2b equals 46. So again, we have to combine like terms first. Okay, so 4b and 2b is 6b plus 16 equals 46. Okay, so then again, it just becomes a two-step problem. Then we subtract 16. So that becomes what? 30 equals 6b. Divide by 6. b equals 5. All right. Let's go on to the next. Whoops. Okay, the third problem. We're just going to do lots of examples. Negative 3z plus 8 plus a negative 2z equals negative 12. Right? So we have this negative 3z and negative 2z. So that becomes negative 5z plus 8 equals negative 12. Okay, so then we're going to get rid of this 8. So we subtract 8, and that might not be the best. So we have negative 5z equals, now this is negative 12 minus 8, or plus a negative 8. Okay, so you're really adding those, but you're keeping that negative. So negative 20, let me change colors, that does not work well. So we have negative 5z equals negative 20, dividing by negative 5, z equals positive 6. I'm sorry, positive 4. Hello. Positive 4, because a negative divided by a negative is a positive. Number 4, so this one we're going to have to do distributive property. 3 times the quantity k plus 8 equals 21. We have to do the distributive property here, okay, before we do anything. Okay, so we take this 3 and we distribute because we have to simplify this side. So 3k plus 24 equals 21. And then we're going to subtract 24. So 3k equals 21 minus 24 is a negative 3. And then we're going to come back over, divide by 3. K equals negative 1. Whoops, I keep doing that because I think there's, whoops, okay. Next one. Number 5. 15 equals negative 3x minus 1 plus 9. Now there's different ways you could start this. I'm just going to start by distributing. You could start by subtracting the 9 over if you wanted. I think that makes it a little bit more confusing, but if that makes sense to you, go ahead. So we're going to have 15 equals negative 3x plus 3 and then plus 9. This negative 3 is not being multiplied by the 9. It's not inside the parentheses, okay? Now we have to still combine. We combine our 3 and our 9. So we have 15 equals negative 3x. Whoops. Ignore that little thing right there. Negative 3x plus 12. Now, we're going to subtract 12 because we're trying to get x by itself. Remember, it doesn't matter what side x is on. Okay, and then we're going to divide by negative 3. So x equals negative 1. Okay. So we have to simplify first and then move on. All right, now here's one with a fraction. There's different ways to do this. Plus x over 2 equals 7. Okay? Well, you need to simplify these. So if you want to do just a common denominator, you can do that. Okay, you can just find a common denominator, or you can just add this in your calculator. Add 2/3 and 1/2. Okay, so if you found a common denominator, okay, these are both going to be x. So 3 times 2, so it'd be 2 times 2, which is 4. 2 times 3 is 6. X times, or 1 times 3 would just be 3x. It would just be like this. Okay, now you could multiply this whole thing by 6, which I showed in a different video. I don't care how you do it, right? And then we combine them to get 7x over 6 equals 7, which is fine for now. Leave it like this. Now we have to solve for x, or it could just be 7/6x. That might look a little better. Okay, then remember you just multiply by the reciprocal. 6/7. So x, so this is really just 7 over 1. We multiply across, but we can reduce. So you should just end up with x equals 6. Now from the beginning up here, you could have multiplied everything by 6 to start, by that common denominator, but you'd have to remember to multiply the 7 as well. I've shown that in different videos, I believe. Oh, where's my, there it is. All right. Let's see, we have a few more. 3 more examples. Okay, so if we have 2/3 x minus 5/8, I'm going to show this the other way. If it made sense to you, just add this in your calculator or subtract it. 2/3 minus 5/8, okay? Or find a common denominator with 8 and 3, which is 24. Okay, so you could multiply everything by 24. Okay, so if you multiply 24 times 2/3, this is going to be 1, and that's 8. So this is going to be 16x minus, and this is going to be 15x, because this would reduce down the 8 and the 24. It's like you took this times 24. So this would be 1, and that would be 3, and then 3 times 5. And then you also have to do 26 times 24, which is 624. Again, you can just put this in your calculator to simplify it. Okay, and this is just going to give you x equals 624. If you do it the other way, that's fine as well. Okay, you just put in your calculator or find a common denominator and solve from there. Okay, this tends to take some steps out, but it also tends to confuse people as well. Okay, same if you have a decimal. It's okay, just add it up. Don't let decimals scare you. Okay, you still have to add like terms. 1.2x plus 0.3x becomes 1.5x minus 3.6 equals 2.4. Okay, and then what are we going to do? We're going to add 3.6, which gives us 6. And we're left with 1.5x over here. Divide by 1.5. Again, if you don't want to do all that division, then just put it in your calculator. 6 divided by 1.5 is 4. Don't let those fractions and decimals freak you out. Okay, it's the same thing. You solve it the same way. Last one. Okay, the perimeter of this rectangle is 44. And we have to find x. Okay, and it's given like this. So this is x, and this is 12. We have to come up with x, okay? So you can do that a few ways. If this is x, since it's a rectangle, we also know this is x. If this side is 12, we know this side's 12. Well, perimeter is just adding them all up. You could do just x plus 12 plus 12 equals 144. You can skip this step and just make it 2x plus 24 equals 144, and then you just solve it. I'm okay with either of these, okay? Subtract 24, subtract 24. I wrote that wrong. I'm sorry, I wrote 144 right here. It's just supposed to be 44. I'm sorry, I was really confused there for a second. Hold on, let me get my eraser here. Here we go. Whoops. Okay, go away. This is just supposed to be 44. There we go. I was really confused there for a minute. So this should be 20 equals 2x, and then we're going to divide by 2. So x equals 10. That means this other side is 10. You might have been able to figure that out without making the formula, but they're wanting you to come up with the formula. Okay, that's it.